Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today we're looking at the top 15 open-world games you can play on Nintendo Switch right now. These are the games that give you massive worlds to explore, tons of freedom, and hours upon hours of content. Let's jump right into it. Red Dead Redemption remains a standout open-world experience on Nintendo platforms, built around deliberate pacing, systemic depth, and a world that reacts naturally to player behavior. You step into the boots of John Marston, navigating a fading Wild West defined by moral tension, shifting alliances, and a strong sense of place, where story missions blend seamlessly with side activities and unpredictable encounters. Core mechanics emphasize grounded gunplay, horseback traversal, and the iconic Deadeye system, encouraging precision rather than chaos, while the honor system subtly shapes how the world responds to your actions. On Nintendo Switch, the game already delivered a solid, stable experience that preserved its atmosphere, but a newer update dramatically improves things on Switch 2. The enhanced version targets a smooth 60 frames per second, doubling the original performance and making combat, camera movement, and traversal feel far more responsive. Resolution also sees a noticeable boost through modern upscaling techniques, resulting in sharper environments, cleaner character detail, and more convincing vistas, especially in docked play. Together, these upgrades help Red Dead Redemption feel closer to contemporary open-world standards, while retaining the slow-burn storytelling and immersive design that made it memorable in the first place. The Witcher 3 follows Geralt of Rivia, a professional monster hunter searching for his adopted daughter Ciri, who's being pursued by an otherworldly force called the Wild Hunt. The story weaves through war-torn kingdoms, ancient forests, and cursed lands filled with Slavic folklore. As a Witcher, you'll take on contracts to hunt monsters, which involves investigating scenes, gathering information, tracking creatures using your enhanced senses, preparing the right potions and blade oils, and engaging in tactical, real-time combat that requires dodging, parrying, and using magic signs like Igni for fire or Quen for shields. The leveling system lets you specialize in combat styles, sign magic, or alchemy. Choices throughout the game have real consequences that ripple through the story, affecting which characters live or die and determining multiple endings. Side quests are incredibly well written, often featuring moral dilemmas with no clear right answers. You can play Gwent, a card game that becomes surprisingly addictive, romance different characters, hunt treasure, and explore massive regions, including the main continent and the beautiful Skellige Islands. Despite being a technical challenge on Switch, the Complete Edition includes all DLC, delivering over 150 hours of one of gaming's greatest adventures in portable form.
Epidemics.
Did he know they eat the living as well?
No. Really upset him too. His theory collapsed.
NieR Automata takes place thousands of years in the future, where humanity has fled to the moon after Earth was invaded by alien machines. You play as androids 2B and 9S, sent to reclaim Earth for humanity by fighting the machine lifeforms. The story explores deep philosophical themes about consciousness, existence, and what it means to be alive, all without giving away its incredible plot twists. The gameplay seamlessly blends hack-and-slash combat with bullet hell shooting sections and even shifts to different camera perspectives, including side-scrolling and top-down views. Combat is fast and stylish, letting you equip different weapon combinations, customize your android with plug-in chips that modify abilities, and switch between melee and ranged attacks fluidly. You'll explore ruined cities reclaimed by nature, desert zones, and forests while completing quests for machine lifeforms who've developed their own societies and cultures. The game requires multiple playthroughs to see the full story, but each playthrough offers new perspectives, reveals hidden truths, and even changes gameplay styles. Dragon Quest XI's tells the classic tale of a young man who discovers he's the reincarnation of a legendary hero called the Luminary, destined to save the world from darkness. After your village is destroyed and you're branded a traitor by the king, you set out to gather allies and uncover the truth about your destiny and an ancient evil threatening the world. The turn-based combat system is polished and strategic, letting you build a party of diverse characters, each with unique skill trees where you can specialize them as fighters, mages, or support roles. You'll explore colorful kingdoms ranging from European-inspired castles to Arabian desert cities and tropical islands, each with their own cultures and problems to solve. The game includes a lengthy post-game story that adds significant depth and twists to the main narrative. You can forge equipment at campsites, complete side quests that flesh out your party members, participate in horse races, and find mini-medals hidden throughout the world. The Switch version includes full voice acting, a 16-bit retro mode that lets you play sections in classic Dragon Quest style, additional character stories, and orchestral music.
Fight and fight some more on! Phew.
Dragon's Dogma throws you into a dark fantasy world where a dragon attacks your village and literally tears out your heart, marking you as the Arisen, a chosen warrior destined to defeat the dragon. Somehow surviving without your heart, you must gather allies and grow stronger to confront the dragon and reclaim what was taken. The gameplay revolves around the innovative pawn system, where you create AI companions who learn from your playstyle and can be shared with other players online. You'll choose from 9 vocations, including Fighter, Mage, Ranger, and hybrid classes like Magic Archer, each with completely different playstyles and abilities. Combat is action-focused and physical. You can climb onto large monsters, Shadow of the Colossus style, grabbing their limbs and stabbing weak points while they try to shake you off. Nighttime is genuinely dangerous, with powerful enemies emerging and limited visibility, making lanterns essential. You'll explore a massive open world filled with bandit camps, griffin nests, and dungeons, with the Dark Arisen expansion adding an entire challenging post-game area.
They grow frenzied!
Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake reimagines the classic 1988 JRPG that defined the genre, telling the story of a young hero following in their legendary father Ortega's footsteps to defeat the archfiend Baramos. On your 16th birthday, you're tasked by the king to continue your father's quest, gathering a party of adventurers and traveling the world to stop an ancient evil. The remake uses the stunning HD 2D visual style, combining pixel art characters with modern 3D environments and lighting effects, making classic JRPG gameplay feel fresh. You'll create your own party members from various character classes, including warriors, mages, thieves, merchants, and the new Monster Wrangler class, customizing their appearances and deciding how to build your team. The turn-based combat is strategic and challenging, requiring you to manage resources carefully and exploit enemy weaknesses. You'll explore a massive world map, visiting different kingdoms inspired by real-world cultures, each with their own storylines and challenges. The game includes quality-of-life improvements like auto-battle options and increased movement speed while maintaining the core challenge and sense of adventure. Pokémon Scarlet and Violet brings the series fully into open-world design, letting players explore the vast Paldea region with complete freedom as towns, routes, and wild areas blend seamlessly into one continuous map. Instead of a fixed progression, gameplay is built around multiple, parallel story paths that can be tackled in any order, encouraging organic exploration while catching Pokémon that visibly roam the overworld, rather than appearing through random encounters. Battles retain the familiar turn-based structure, but are refreshed by the terrestrial mechanic, allowing Pokémon to crystallize into new Terra types that can dramatically shift strategies and team building. The narrative focuses on personal growth, discovery, and rivalry, delivered through character-driven arcs that unfold naturally as you travel. While the original Nintendo Switch version struggled with uneven performance, a newer update significantly improves the experience on Switch 2. The enhanced version targets a much smoother 60 frames per second, making exploration, battles, and camera movement feel far more responsive, while resolution sees a clear boost through modern upscaling, resulting in sharper environments, improved draw distance, and cleaner visuals in both docked and handheld play. Kingdom Come Deliverance drops you into 1403 Bohemia during a civil war, playing as Henry, a blacksmith's son whose village is destroyed and family murdered by invading forces. With nothing left, Henry joins the service of Lord Radzig to get revenge and becomes entangled in the political conflicts tearing the region apart. This isn't your typical fantasy RPG. There's no magic, no monsters, just brutal historical realism in medieval Europe. The combat system is incredibly challenging and realistic, requiring you to learn actual sword fighting techniques, manage stamina, and understand that getting hit by swords really hurts. You'll need to maintain your equipment, eat regularly, sleep to stay rested, and even bathe because NPCs will react negatively if you're covered in blood and mud. Your skills improve through practice. You get better at archery by shooting, improve speech through conversations, and learn to read by studying. The world feels authentically medieval, with realistic day-night cycles where NPCs follow actual schedules. You can approach quests through combat, stealth, or dialogue, depending on your skills. There's hunting, lockpicking, pickpocketing, and alchemy systems, all grounded in realism.
Now you're getting it. All right.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 presents a world where two nations, Kevez and Agnes, are locked in eternal war, with soldiers living only 10 years before their life force is harvested. You control Noah from Kevez and Mio from Agnes, who, along with their respective teams, become targeted by both nations after discovering their world's dark secrets. The story explores themes of mortality, purpose, and breaking free from predetermined fate, without spoiling its emotional narrative beats. The real-time combat system is deep and strategic, letting you control one character while AI handles the others, though you can switch freely mid-battle. Each character has specific roles as attackers, defenders, or healers, with customizable classes you unlock throughout the adventure. The interlink system lets pairs of characters fuse into powerful Ouroboros forms, with unique abilities and devastating attacks. You'll chain attacks by timing button presses and positioning correctly to topple enemies and extend combos. The world is absolutely massive, with multiple regions to explore, each filled with unique monsters, hidden areas, and optional super bosses. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim remains one of the most content-rich open-world experiences available on Nintendo platforms, built around player freedom, systemic depth, and a world that constantly reacts to your choices. Set in the frozen province of Skyrim, the game drops you into a vast fantasy sandbox where exploration, combat, crafting, and questing are entirely player-driven, allowing you to shape your character through skills rather than rigid classes. Whether you favor melee combat, magic, stealth, or a hybrid approach, progression feels organic as abilities improve through use, making each playstyle feel distinct. The story centers on the return of dragons and your role as the Dragonborn, but much of the game's strength lies in its side quests, guild storylines, and environmental storytelling that reward curiosity and wandering. On Nintendo Switch, Skyrim already delivered the full experience in portable form, but a newer update tailored for Switch 2 enhances its technical presentation. The game benefits from higher resolution through modern upscaling, sharper textures, and improved draw distance in both docked and handheld modes, making the world feel clearer and more detailed. Pokémon Legends Arceus takes you back to the ancient Hisui region, which eventually becomes the Sinnoh we know from the main series. You're part of the Survey Corps, tasked with creating the region's very first Pokédex, while humans and Pokémon are still learning to coexist. The game completely changes how you catch Pokémon. You can sneak through tall grass and throw Pokéballs directly at wild Pokémon without triggering a battle. Or you can start fights to weaken them first. The combat system got revamped with a turn order mechanic, where you can see who attacks next, and moves have different styles that either hit harder or let you move faster. You'll explore large open zones filled with Pokémon behaving naturally. Some are aggressive and will chase you down, while others flee when they see you. The crafting system lets you make your own Pokéballs and potions using materials you gather. Your main quest involves calming down frenzied noble Pokémon by dodging their attacks and throwing special bombs at them, in these action-packed boss fights that feel nothing like traditional Pokémon battles. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition brings this legendary JRPG to Switch, with improved visuals and new content. The entire game takes place on the bodies of two massive titans frozen in combat, the Bionis and Mechonis. You play as Shulk, who wields the Monado, a legendary sword that lets him see glimpses of the future during combat and in story moments. The world is absolutely massive, with interconnected areas full of side quests, hidden locations, and monsters, ranging from passive creatures to territorial beasts way above your level. Combat happens in real time, where you control one character while your party members act based on AI, and you can queue up special arts that have cooldown timers. The Monado's visions let you see fatal attacks before they happen, giving you a chance to warn allies or change equipment to prevent the future you just witnessed. The story centers on a war between humans and machines, but there's way more going on beneath the surface about the nature of the world itself. Time of day matters because certain quests and monsters only appear at specific hours, and the affinity system tracks your relationships with party members and NPCs, unlocking new skills and story content as bonds strengthen. Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake reimagines these classic JRPGs with a gorgeous art style that blends pixelated characters with 3D environments and modern lighting effects. In Dragon Quest I, you're the descendant of the legendary hero Erdrick, tasked with rescuing Princess Gawain and defeating the Dragon Lord, who's threatening the kingdom of Alfgard. It's a solo adventure where you explore towns, dungeons, and wilderness while leveling up and gathering better equipment. Dragon Quest II expands the scope significantly. You control the Prince of Midenhall and recruit two cousins to form a party as you travel across multiple continents to stop the evil Hargon. The remake adds quality-of-life improvements like quest markers and faster battle speeds while keeping the traditional turn-based combat intact. You'll fight random encounters as you explore, manage your limited inventory space, and discover hidden items and secrets scattered throughout both games. The world gradually opens up as you gain abilities like unlocking doors and traversing different terrain types, and you'll need to talk to NPCs to get hints about where to go next, since the games maintain that old-school sense of discovery without hand-holding.
See ya!
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom builds on the foundation of modern Zelda by delivering an expansive open world that spans the surface of Hyrule, floating sky islands, and the eerie underground depths, all seamlessly connected and designed for free-form exploration. Gameplay is driven by systems rather than scripted solutions, with abilities like Fuse, Ascend, Recall, and Auto-Build encouraging experimentation, creativity, and player expression, whether you are solving puzzles, navigating terrain, or approaching combat in unconventional ways. The story unfolds gradually through exploration, environmental storytelling, and key character moments, focusing on ancient mysteries, lost civilizations, and the evolving bond between Link, Zelda, and the land itself. On the original Nintendo Switch, the scale and ambition were already impressive, but a newer update tailored for Switch 2 significantly enhances the technical experience. The upgraded version targets a smooth 60 frames per second, making traversal, combat, and physics interactions feel noticeably more responsive, while resolution sees a substantial boost through modern rendering and upscaling techniques. The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, builds on the foundation of modern Zelda by delivering an expansive open world that spans the surface of Hyrule, floating sky islands, and the eerie underground depths, all seamlessly connected and designed for free-form exploration. Gameplay is driven by systems rather than scripted solutions, with abilities like Fuse, Ascend, Recall, and Auto-Build encouraging experimentation, creativity, and player expression, whether you are solving puzzles, navigating terrain, or approaching combat in unconventional ways. The story unfolds gradually through exploration, environmental storytelling, and key character moments, focusing on ancient mysteries, lost civilizations, and the evolving bond between Link, Zelda, and the land itself. On the original Nintendo Switch, the scale and ambition were already impressive, but a newer update tailored for Switch 2 significantly enhances the technical experience. The upgraded version targets a smooth 60 frames per second, making traversal, combat, and physics interactions feel noticeably more responsive, while resolution sees a substantial boost through modern rendering and upscaling techniques. So there you have it, the top 15 open-world games on Nintendo Switch. Each of these games offers a massive world to explore with hundreds of hours of content. Let me know in the comments which of these games is your favorite, or if there's an open-world game I missed that deserves to be on this list. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to Switch Top for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.